ओके जी, हम लोग का कोर्स कोड है जी बेटा 0504। उसमें आज का जो हम लोग का टॉपिक है दैट इज रीजनरेशन इन वर्टिब्रेट्स। ठीक है जी, वर्टिब्रेट्स के अंदर रीजनरेशन को देखना है। तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट द डेफिनेशन ऑफ रीजनरेशन। व्हाट इज रीजनरेशन? रीजनरेशन इज द सीक्वेंस ऑफ morphogenetic events that restores the normal structure of an organ after its partial or total amputation. Amputation is cut down of any part of the body, or the injured part of the body can be regained again by a process is known as regeneration. So any missing or injured or amputated part of body can be regained by the process of regeneration. So what is regeneration in vertebrates? Regeneration in invertebrates occur by two processes. So there are two possible pathways through which regeneration occur in vertebrates. First is epimorphosis, second is morpholexis. Epimorphosis and morpholexis is basically differentiated on the base of the formation of blastomatic or intermediate plot-like structure on the base of which these two categories are differentiated. So if blastema is formed in a stage, then that is epimorphosis. If blastema is not formed in any stage, then that is morpholexis. So first category is epimorphosis or epimorphic regeneration. What is that? This type of regeneration involves the reconstruction of the missing parts by local proliferation from the blastema. Or what is blastema? Any whitish part which is appeared after any injury or after the cut down of any part of the body. So that whitish material which firstly appear on the remaining piece. So this is epimorphosis. This is a type of regeneration in which the surrounding cells involved or helpful for the regeneration or rebuilding of cells is known as epimorphosis. For example, regeneration of tails, as you can see in many amphibians, regeneration of tails, for example, lizards, limbs and lens formation. It also occur and the process of limbs and lens regeneration. I will describe in next slide as well. So regeneration of tails, limbs and lens are all examples in invertebrates are of epimorphic regeneration. So morpholexis, what is that? Morpholexis or morpholactic regeneration. This type of regeneration involving reorganization of the remaining part of the body of animal. So here it is not any formation of blastema. What that mean? For example, if there is any cut or injured part of the body where the tissues are totally damaged or lost, so the surrounding cells or surrounding tissues will remold in a form that will cover that lost structure. So there is not any reformation or new formation of tissues by the cooperation of surrounding cells, but instead of that there is remolding of already existing cells or tissues in a form to regenerate a structure somehow alike that which was existing before that, before the lost or missing of that part which is missed now. So this type of regeneration is known as morpholexis or morpholactic regeneration. After that, here is an example. For example, regeneration of tail in amphibians or some reptilians. So first we will discuss about amphibians, how they regain or regenerate their tail structure. The tail lacks vertebrae and has an unsegmented cartilaginous tube which contains the regenerated spinal cord, which form mainly of the ependymal lining of the central canal. At first, very few cells accumulate under the bound epithelium, the ependyma, and the various connective tissues, dermis, muscle septa, adipose tissues, and osteocytes of vertebrates are the sources of cell for the regeneration. So here again, the same thing is repeating that the nearby or surrounding cells are involving in the process of regeneration. So how many cells, different types of cells showing their participation for the regeneration of that missing part of that body. So various connective tissues, dermis, muscle, septa, adipose tissues, osteocytes of vertebrae, sources of cells further regenerate. The non-nervous system elements proliferate behind. So there is also proliferation of cells away from those already existing cells. So proliferations are behind the apex, forming both the muscles and cartilaginous tubule. So here is step-by-step formations of that missing parts, so forming both the muscles and cartilage tube. Then the ependema proliferate and gradually extend dorsally. So here is a complete formation or regeneration of that lagged structure or that missing part of the body in the amphibian. After that, reptilian, how reptilia regain or regenerate their structure. For example, in the case of lizard, the regenerated tail is a quite imperfect tail. It lacks vertebrae and in their space has an unsegmented cartilaginous tube. This tube contains the regenerated spinal cord, includes the extension of the epidermal lining of the central canal of the spinal cord. So here in this way reptilia regain or regenerate their tail structure. So once they lost their structure from or within a year or before the completion of 1 year, they regain their structure again. I am talking about lizard. So lizard can regain their tail before the completion of a year. So in this way, amphibians and reptiles regain structure. Here is a diagram of lizard. For example, the fracture point you can see here. There is a loss of any structure in the tail. So has blood vessels that close up quickly to reduce bleeding. After tail grows completely, it less than a year. So before the completion of year, it regain its tail structure again. Regeneration of lens, how they regenerate the lens structure. Dorsal region of the iris thickens and a cleft arises between inner and outer lamella of the iris. Amoeboid cells, so here is also delocalizations or the movement of cells away from those cells which are already built up towards the injured or missing part of the body. Amoeboid cells move from the stroma into the cleft, followed by the marked increase of RNA and DNA synthesis as well as of mitotic cell division. The pigmented cells of the dorsal region is engulfed by invading amoeboid cells. The formed non-pigmented cubicle cells from hollow epithelial vesicle and extends with the inner and outer lamellar structure. Then these vesicles, inner walls, cells elongated into lumen and form primary lens fibers. So here step by step formation until or unless the formation of primary lens fibers, after which the lens specific crystalline proteins is formed. The primary lens fibers push to the front of vesicle to form a nucleus behind the lens epithelium, which forms the secondary lens fibers. Then after that, the nucleus of the primary lens fiber is enclosed by a secondary lens fiber. In the central lens fiber, the nucleus degenerate. Primary and secondary lens fibers are the components of the lens. So here a complete new lens is regenerated in this way or regained in this way. So these are all the regeneration process if we are talking about the vertebrates. So there is a diagram which showing the structure, show the regeneration or regaining of the lens structure when it is injured or it is lost. So here you can see how it regained that lens structure again. If the lens is removed, then how cells move from the surrounding environment and how different proteins and nucleus is regained in the structure and how complete structure is formed after the primary and secondary lens structure. Then after that, regeneration of limb, how limb is regenerated. If any limb is cut down, then that cut limb is regained by the pushing of the surrounding cells or the tissues for the molding at that missing part, for the formation of that specific part again as it was existing in the past. So regeneration begins in three phases: phases of wound healing, phases of blastema formation, and phases of de-differentiated and morphogenesis. The first phase of wound healing or pre-blastema stage, how it is occurred: blood clotting and migration of epidermal cells from the basal layer of epidermis towards the center of the wound. Then the wound is covered with the epithelium, which is thicker than the epidermis of the limb. After that, the second step, phase of blastema formation. The second step, cells accumulate beneath the epithelial covering and form the blastema. So blastema structure is formed here. Mesenchymal cells accumulate beneath the cap mesenchyma, blastema. What are mesenchyma? Blastemal cells differentiated into myoblast and muscle cells. Early cartilaginous cells and cartilage during the de-differentiate phase. Hyaluronate HA increases in the distal stump to form blastema. As the blastema form, HA will decrease the production of HA. Breakdown of collagen represents the establishment of the migration from the stump tissue. So after the formation or after the establishment of the blastema structure, this HA structure and breakdown of collagen represent the establishment of migration from stump tissues. So phase of de-differential morphogenesis, how it is occurred? It is a third and last stage of the regeneration of the limb. The blastema begins to restore the part of which limb was deprived. So which part was missed and which part was injured is regained by the blastema formation. So blastema here in this stage ensures the restorations of the already existing parts. Specifically, it is the forearm is removed. If the forearm is removed, the blastema de-differentiated directly into muscles, bone, cartilage, and skin of the arm. So which body part is lost during that process? Which part of the body is lost is regained by regaining the structure according to that particular body set. For example, if limb or forearm or some other part of the body, then according to that part of the body, that types of tissue, that type of cells are regained. For example, if I am discussing here the examples of the arm, so arm is formed by muscles, bones, cartilages. So after the formation or after the establishment of blastema, here in this stage there will be ensurety of the regain of bone, cartilage, and skin structure as it was already existing in the past before the missing of that specific part. So this is the regeneration of the limbs. You can see here in the diagram regeneration of the limbs, how specific or lost its limb, and within the 3 to 6 weeks how it regains specific or possible part of the body, then 6 to 9 weeks how it regenerates it again. So this is all process occurring in the process of regeneration of a limb. After 1 week, after 3 to 6 weeks, after 6 to 9 weeks, how the process is completing regeneration of the limb. So here is a step-by-step process elaborated in this diagram, steps of regenerated limb. You can see here amputation. Amputation means cut of that specific part. For example, here it may be a forelimb, it may be any part of the body where it is a completely cut down. After the wound healing process start here of regeneration, so on the cut point or on that point which is injured or which is lost, wound healing process will be started here. Then de-differentiation, early bud formation. After the formation of early bud, medium bud will be formed here, late bud form here, pellet form, early differentiation, and then complete that part will be regained again. So this is a complete process happen in the case of regeneration of our limb. So there are some factors which are affect the process of regeneration. There are 5 factors which are directly involved in the controlling regeneration process. First is nervous system, second is animal size, third is pituitary gland, and fourth is vitamin A and its derivatives, and fifth is insulin. These 5 factors are involved in the control of regeneration process.